Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 15.
So let's kick off with Liu Bei. We start right after he's lost Zhou province to Lu Bu. His family's captured, and his brother, Zhang Fei, is just devastated.
Utterly crushed.
Yeah.
So much so, he pulls his sword, ready for suicide. It's that bad.
And this is where we see Liu Bei step up, not just as a brother, but as a leader. His response isn't, oh no, the city, or even just about the family.
No, he hits Zhang Fei with that line we started with, brothers are like hands and feet, reinforcing that core bond.
That Peach Garden Oath stuff really runs deep, doesn't it? But was it purely emotional, do you think? Or was there strategy even in that moment of grief?
Oh, I think it's definitely both. He's shoring up that oath, absolutely.
Yeah.
That brotherhood is his power base. But it's also smart leadership. Well, he pulls Zhang Fei back from the edge, right? Stabilizes his most volatile general, and he subtly shifts the focus. They can't get the province back now, but the family, maybe.
Ah, right. He even says something like, Lu Bu probably won't harm them. We can figure out a plan.
Exactly. It's about managing morale, prioritizing what's truly irreplaceable, the brotherhood, while offering a glimmer of hope for what might be recoverable. Loyalty over loss. Smart.
And while they're dealing with this, Yuan Shu sees his chance. Classic Yuan Shu.
Oh yeah, ever the opportunist.
He knows Lu Bu's just taken Zhou province, so he sends this massive offer. We're talking, what, 50,000 hu of grain?
Which is a lot of grain. Plus 500 horses, 10,000 liang of gold and silver.
Huge amounts. And 1,000 bolts of silk. All for Lu Bu if he attacks Liu Bei.
Just naked ambition, trying to use Lu Bu to get rid of Liu Bei.
Yeah.
And Lu Bu, well, he seems happy enough to play along at first. Sends Gao Shen with 50,000 troops.
So Liu Bei, hearing this, he's caught. He has to retreat from Shu, heads towards Guangling in this heavy rain. Just sounds miserable.
It is. And then Gao Shen catches up, meets Yuan Shu's general, Ji Ling, and says, okay, pay up.
And Jiling says,
Not so fast. We'll pay when you actually capture Liu Bei.
oh boy. So the deal's already shaky. Lu Bu must have been furious.
Absolutely. Ready to turn on Yuan Shu right then and there. It really shows you how unreliable these promises were.
But this is where it gets interesting. Lu Bu's fuming, and his advisor, Chen Gong, steps in.
Yeah, Chen Gong, always thinking a few moves ahead.
And his advice is totally unexpected. He says, basically, don't attack Yuan Shu. Instead, invite Liu Bei back.
Right, invite him back to Xiaopei. Have him be your wing, like an ally or maybe a buffer zone.
Okay, hold on. How does that make sense? Lu Bu just booted Liu Bei out. Why bring him back?
It's brilliant, really. Chen Gong's playing the long game. He tells Lu Bu, use Liu Bei as your spearhead later. Use him to take out Yuan Shu first, then maybe aim for Yuan Shao, the ultimate goal, dominate the world.
Wow. So turn today's enemy into tomorrow's pawn for an even bigger prize.
Exactly. Leverage the situation. Don't just react with anger.
Meanwhile, Liu Bei is having a rough time. He tries to take Guangling, gets ambushed by Yuan Shu, loses a lot of men. He's in a really tight spot.
Desperate, yeah. So when Lu Bu's invitation arrives, offering him Xiaopei,
He must have been overjoyed. A lifeline.
he was. But his brothers, Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, they're immediately like, whoa, hold on.
Understandably, they're saying, this guy Lu Bu, he's totally untrustworthy.
Right. Unrighteous, they call him.
Yeah.
So you've got this tension, Liu Bei's desperation versus his brother's deep suspicion. It's a real dilemma.
So why does Liu Bei decide to trust him against his brother's advice?
Well, his argument is simple, almost hopeful. He treats me with kindness. Why should I suspect him? Maybe it's his nature. Maybe it's calculated optimism.
Or maybe he just didn't have any other options.
That too. He needs a base. Lu Bu's offering one. Sometimes, you have to take that risky chance, even if your gut or your brothers are screaming no.
And Liu Bu, to his credit, or maybe calculation, does things to encourage that trust.
He does. Sends Liu Bei's family back straight away. That's huge.
And the details matter, right? The wives, the Gananmi ladies, they report back that Liu Bu's soldiers guarded them, kept people away.
And his concubines sent supplies regularly. These weren't just empty gestures. They were actions designed to show, see, I didn't harm your family.
Yeah.
It directly counters the image of him as purely treacherous.
So it's all about managing perception, building a narrative.
Definitely. And when they finally meet, Liu Bei and Lu Bu, it's like watching a play.
How so?
Lu Bu makes up this excuse for taking Zhou province. Oh, I was worried Zhang Fei might cause trouble, with the drinking and killing.
Right, and Liu Bei plays along.
Totally. Offers to give up the city for good. which Lu Bu, of course, pretends to refuse. Oh no, you keep it.
It's all just political theater, isn't it? Everyone knows the score, but they go through the motions. Does that kind of performance actually achieve anything long-term?
It achieves stability for the moment. It buys time. That's the immediate goal. Not real friendship, just a truce, a strategic pause.
So Liu Bei goes back to Xiaopei, though Zhang Fei is still furious, refuses to even thank Liu Bo.
Yeah, the tension with the brothers is still right there under the surface. Guan Yu isn't happy either.
But Liu Bei tells them something really crucial then, his long-term plan, basically.
He does. He says, humble yourself and keep to your station. Await the opportune moment. Do not contend with fate.
Wow, that says a lot. It's about patience, isn't it? Survival over pride.
Exactly. For Liu Bei, sometimes the smartest move isn't to fight back immediately, but to bend, to survive, to wait for the right moment. Accepting a lower position now can be the best strategy for later.
And for a while, it seems to work. Lu Bu's even sends them supplies. Grain, rice, silk. A fragile peace settles in.
For now.
Okay, let's shift gears now. From Liu Bei's patient maneuvering to something completely different. The raw, explosive ambition of Sun Ce.
Ah, yes, the little conqueror.
We find him at Yuan Shu's place, Shaoqin. He's just come back victorious, conquered Liu Kang, the governor of Lujiang. Big win.
Huge win. And Yuan Shu lays on the praise right. It says something like, if only I had a son like Sun Lang, I'd die happy.
Sounds great on the surface, but Sun Ce, he feels slighted.
Deeply. He feels Yuan Shu is being arrogant, treating him like a kid, not a victorious general. It eats at him. He ends up crying alone outside, thinking he's failing his father, Sun Jin's legacy.
That frustration, though, it turns into something powerful. Zuzi, one of his father's old officers, finds him.
And gives him the nudge he needs. Says basically, why cry? Ask Yuan Shu for troops. Say you're going to rescue your uncle Lu Jing in Jiangdong.
But really, go seize power for yourself.
Exactly. That's the spark, turning that personal angst into a concrete, audacious plan.
And then Lu Fanon, who's actually one of Yuan Shu's guys, adds another layer. He offers Sun Ce some elite troops.
100 good men, yeah. But more importantly, he gives him the idea.
The killer idea. Use your father's imperial seal as collateral.
Boom! The imperial seal. The ultimate symbol of legitimacy. Lu Fan knows Yuan Shu has wanted that seal for ages. It's the perfect leverage.
What does it say about Sun Ce that he's willing to pawn something so significant?
It says he's pragmatic, ambitious, he understands the power of symbols, and he's willing to use any asset to get what he needs. Legacy's important, but power comes first.
So Sun Ce goes to Yuan Shu, puts on a performance, tears, talk of family duty.
My father's revenge isn't complete. My uncle's in danger, my mother and family. Lays it on thick.
Ask for just a few thousand troops, just to rescue family, visit home. Oh, and by the way, here's the imperial seal.
And Yuan Shu sees the seal, and he's ecstatic. Tries to play cool, oh, I don't want your seal, but I'll just hold on to it for you.
Right, and gives him the troops.
3,000 soldiers, 500 horses. But he tries to keep him on a short leash. Tells him to come back quickly, gives him a relatively minor rank.
Like Zhicheng Xiaowei, Tianku Jiangjin. Basically junior officer roles despite his big win.
Yuan Shu totally underestimates him. He sees the seal, thinks he's got Sun Ce under control. Big mistake.
Huge. Because Sun Ce takes those troops and immediately starts gathering his real power base, his father's veterans.
Changpu, Huanggai, Han Dang, the Loyal Corps, plus Zhu Ji and Lu Fan, who helped hatch the plan. He knows it's not just about soldiers, it's about the right people.
And then comes the game changer. At Liang.
The meeting with Zhu Yu.
Zhu Yu Gongjin. Same age, sworn brothers practically. The connection is instant.
But Zhu Yu just commits right there. I'm with you. Let's do this. And Sun Ce knows with Gongjin, we can achieve anything. That partnership is electric.
And Zhu Yu immediately brings more value. He asks Sun Ce about the two Zangs of Jiangdong.
Zhang Zhao and Zhan Hong,
Yeah.
brilliant minds. Zhu Yu says Zhang Zhao has talents to govern heaven and earth. High praise.
Sun Ce tries sending gifts, but they say no.
So what does Sun Ce do? He goes himself. Persuades them personally. That shows real leadership, doesn't it? Recognizing talent and doing what it takes to get it.
Absolutely. He hires them, gives them key roles, chief clerk, general, consultant, advisor, and what's the first thing they do?
Start planning the next move.
Mm-hmm.
Attacking Liu Yao. No time wasted.
So looking at Sun Ce's story, what's the lesson there for you, the listener? It's just this incredible burst of action.
It really is. It shows that ambition, when focused, can be unstoppable. But it's not just ambition. It's about recognizing opportunities like the seal.
Or like Zhu Yu.
Exactly. And attracting top talent, the Zhangs. Knowing who you need beside you. He didn't wait for an opportune moment. He made one.
Yeah, he turned that frustration into fuel and just went for it, leveraging everything he had.
It's the power of decisive action, strategic alliances, and, frankly, charisma. He pulled people to his cause.
Liu Yao, he's related to the Han Emperor, kind of old guard. He got pushed out of Shaochun by Yuan Shu, another warlord, and now he set himself up in a place called Kui, trying to hold on.
And he's facing Sun Ce, the little conqueror.
Exactly. Who's young, ambitious, wants to build something for himself in Jiangdong, wants to sort of live up to his father's name.
Right, so the stakes are pretty high. You've got Liu Yao representing the fading authority of the Han, maybe. And then Sun Ce, this aggressive new force. The first real clash happens at Niuzhu.
Ah, Niuzhu. Why was that so important?
Resources. Huge amounts.
Yeah.
The text mentions 100,000 units of grain plus weapons, supplies. For Sun Ce, who's just starting out, getting his hands on that was absolutely essential. A strategic must-have.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And Liu Yao's general there, Zhang Ying, he thought he could hold it.
Yeah, he seemed pretty confident. But Sun Ce, well, he had a surprise up his sleeve. While Zhang Ying is busy fighting Huang Gai, one of Sun Ce's main guys, at the front.
Yeah.
Suddenly, these two other figures pop up behind Zhang Ying's camp. Jiang Qin and Zhu Tai.
Wait, weren't they river pirates?
Yeah.
On the Yangtze?
They were. Notorious ones, apparently. But they'd thrown their lot in with Sun Ce. They just torch Zhang Ying's camp from behind. Pandemonium. His army completely falls apart.
Wow. So Sun Ce recruits pirates.
And makes them military superintendents. It really shows something about Sun Ce, doesn't it? This knack for finding talent anywhere, even, the fringes of society. It fits that image of him as a Jiangdong hero, attracting the worthy.
And it worked. He takes Niuzhu just like that.
Just like that. Gets 4,000 surrendered soldiers, too. Huge momentum boost. And from there, he heads towards Shenting.
Okay, Shenting. So next big battle.
Well, not immediately. Sun Ce does something unexpected. He tells his officers he had a dream. Emperor Guangwu, a famous Han restorer, called to him. It's so he decides he needs to go pray at the temple on Shenting Ridge.
Pray in the middle of a campaign with the enemy camp right nearby.
Exactly. His chief clerk, Zhang Zhao, points this out. Sensible advice, right? Says Liu Yao's camp is just south of the ridge. It's too risky. Potential ambush.
And Sun Ce?
He just brushes it off. Says something like, divine beings protect me. What do I fear? So he goes, prays for success in Jiangdong, promises to rebuild the temple later.
Was that genuine faith, do you think? Or maybe a bit of political theater, showing his men he's got heavenly backing?
Could be either. Or both, maybe. It certainly boosts morale, reinforces his image as this destined leader. Pragmatic piety, perhaps?
Okay, so after the prayers, he doesn't just head back.
Nope. Still on the ridge with just 13 riders.
Yeah.
His top generals like Chang Pu, Huang Gai are there. He decides to scout Liu Yao's camp himself from the ridge.
Seriously, 13 guys against a whole army camp. His generals must have loved that.
They advised against it, naturally. But Sun Ce, being Sun Ce, he ignores them. Just does it. Word gets back to Liu Yao, of course. Someone sees them.
And Liu Yao attacks.
No, interestingly, Liu Yao is cautious. He smells a trap. Thinks Sun Ce is trying to lure him out. So he tells his own generals, don't pursue, stay put.
But there's always someone who doesn't listen, isn't there?
There is indeed. Enter Tai Chi. He's a fearsome warrior, only recently joined Liu Yao. And he is just spoiling for a fight. He sees Sun Ce up there, basically exposed. He ignores Liu Yao's command.
What does he do?
He shouts out something like, this is our chance. If we don't capture Sun Ce now, when will we? And he just charges out. Disobeys a direct order. Apparently, only one other young general is brave or maybe foolish enough to follow him. The others just kind of watch him go, maybe chuckling.
You gotta admire the guts, though. Or the recklessness.
Absolutely. Pure warrior spirit, maybe. So Tai Chi charges up the ridge.
And Sun Ce sees him coming.
Yep. Sun Ce's finished his scouting. He's riding back over the ridge, and bam. There's Tai Chi blocking his path, challenging him. Sun Ce lines up his 13 riders. The two leaders face off.
This is it, the big moment.
It is. Tai Chi calls out who he is, says here to capture Sun Ce. Sun Ce doesn't flinch, shouts back who he is, tells Tai Chi to come on, bring his buddy too, he's not scared.
Love the bravado.
Yeah.
So the duel starts.
It does. Horses charge, spears clash. The text says they fight for 50 rounds.
50 rounds, that's epic in these stories, right? It means they were incredibly evenly matched.
Exactly. A true test of skill, stamina, no clear winner. Even Sun Ce's own generals watching are apparently amazed. But Tai Shi is smart. He knows he's outnumbered, 13-2 basically, once the fighting stops.
So he can't just keep dueling indefinitely.
Right. So he feigns defeat, turns his horse and rides away, pretending to flee. But he doesn't ride straight back towards Liu Yao's lines. He veers off behind the mountain.
Trying to lure Sun Ce away.
Precisely. And Sun Ce, being the little conqueror, isn't going to let him just escape. He gives chase, hot on his heels. The test gives us a little insight into Tai Chi's thinking here. He figures, okay, even if I could somehow beat Sun Ce in the duel, his 12 buddies would be all over me immediately.
Right. No chance.
So his goal isn't necessarily just to win the duel, but to isolate Sun Ce, draw him away from his backup. Smart tactics within the fight itself.
So the chase is on. Where do they end up?
It leads them down off the ridge, onto an open plain. And there, they go at it again. Another 50 rounds of dueling.
Incredible endurance. 100 rounds total.
It's just about, yeah. It's truly a legendary encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes this really cinematic moment. They both thrust their spears at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow the spears get tangled or stuck. They're pulling, trying to disarm each other, and they both tumble off their horses.
Whoa, off their horses.
Yep, horses run off. Spears are useless now, maybe dropped or still tangled. So what do?
Keep fighting.
On foot. They start grappling, wrestling, tearing at each other's battle robes. It gets really physical, really desperate.
No more noble mounted combat now.
Not at all. Sun Ce manages to grab a short halberd, like a small axe on a short pole that Tai Chi had strapped to his back.
Yeah.
At the same time, Tai Chi rips Sun Ce's helmet off his head.
So Sun Ce has a weapon, Tai Chi has a helmet.
Pretty much. Sun Ce tries to stab him with a halberd. Tai Chi uses the helmet like a shield to block the blow. It's just raw, close quarters fighting.
That's amazing detail. Really shows the ferocity.
It does. These stories often zoom in on that kind of brutal, personal combat.
Mm-hmm.
It highlights the warrior ethos, the sheer determination. But just as it's reaching this, peak intensity...
Reinforcements.
You got it. Suddenly, Liu Yao's backup arrives maybe 1,000 men, the text says. And at the exact same time, Sun Ce's 12 riders finally catch up.
Ah, so the private duel is over.
Instantly. The larger battle just swallows them up. They both instinctively break apart, scramble to find horses, maybe their own, maybe others grab their spears again, and rejoin the bigger skirmish.
What a scene. So the battle rages on.
Yeah, the fighting kind of rolls back towards Shenting Ridge. It's getting dark, dusk is falling. And then another sound, a huge shout. It signals the arrival of another army, Zhu Yu's forces.
Zhu Yu, Sun Ce's close friend and brilliant strategist.
Very same. And just then, the weather turns. A sudden storm kicks up wind, rain, classic dramatic timing. With the storm and darkness, both sides decide to pull back. Call it a draw for the day, basically.
Okay, so day 2. Rematch.
Well, first comes a bit of psychological warfare, which is interesting. Sun Ce's army starts parading around that short halberd they grabbed off Tai Chi, yelling that Tai Chi almost got killed, that Sun Ce disarmed him.
And Tai Chi's side.
They paraded Sun Ce's helmet. They shout back that Tai Chi basically had Sun Ce's head, took his helmet right off him. Both armies are cheering their guy, trying to claim victory, boost morale after that intense fight.
So Tai Chi is eager for that rematch.
Oh, yeah. He comes out challenging again. But this time, Sun Ce doesn't take him on directly. His general, Cheng Pu, steps up. Cheng Pu fights Tai Chi for about 30 rounds. Another impressive display, showing the depth of Sun Ce's officer corps.
But while this is happening, Cheng Pu versus Tai Chi.
Something crucial is happening off stage, so to speak. The real strategic move. Right in the middle of this fight, Liu Yao suddenly orders a general retreat. Pull everyone back.
Why, mid-fight?
Because messengers arrive with devastating news. Zhu Yu, remember Zhu Yu arriving?
Yeah, Sun Ce's strategist.
His army, helped by another officer named Chen Wu, wasn't just coming to reinforce the battle. They'd launched a surprise attack on Qi.
Qi, Liu Yao's main base.
Exactly. While everyone was focused on the duel and the fighting at Shenting, Zhu Yu had slipped past and captured Liu Yao's headquarters, cut off his retreat, captured his supplies, everything.
Ah, so that's the decisive blow, not the duel.
Precisely. The duel is legendary, it's memorable, it shows the character of the two men, but it didn't decide the campaign. Zhu's strategic move, taking Qi, pulled the rug out from under Liu Yao completely.
So what does Liu Yao do? His base is gone.
His army loses heart. They're demoralized, nowhere secure to fall back to. Sun Ce sees his chance and launches a big night raid, hitting them with 5 divisions. It becomes a total rout. Liu Yao's forces just scatter.
And Tai Chi, the great warrior.
Even he can't stand against that tide. His personal bravery is immense, but it's not enough against strategy and numbers. He's forced to flee, gets away with just a few riders, heading for Jing County.
Sun Ce getting this interesting new ally, Chen Wu.
Mm-hmm.
The descriptions of him are pretty wild, right? 7 feet tall, yellow face, red eyes.
Yeah.
Sounds quite striking.
Definitely stands out.
But Sun Ce, sharp as ever, sees his potential immediately, makes him a colonel, puts him right in the vanguard. So what about Chen Wu's impact? Was it really the start of something new, a more aggressive phase?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Chen Wu's sheer ferocity just set the tone right away.
Right.
His very first charge against Suizhou with maybe a dozen riders, he cuts down over 50 enemy soldiers.
Wow, just like that.
Exactly. It wasn't just a minor fight, it was a declaration. And pretty soon after, you see Sun Ce directly challenging Liu Yao and Zhao Rong at Yuzhou, Henan. And this is where the little Conqueror legend really starts to take shape, thanks to some pretty astonishing individual action.
Right, like what happened with Yumi. That's one of those moments. The sources say Sun Ce took him on single-handedly.
Yeah, it captures him in less than 3 bouts, which is already impressive.
Totally. But then it gets weirder. The account says he pinched him to death while riding back. That detail is so specific, kind of brutal. What does that tell us about the image he was crafting?
It's almost mythical, isn't it? It paints him as having this superhuman strength. It's pure intimidation factor.
Yeah, sheer terror.
And then there's the story with Fan Nang pursuing him. Sun Ce hears shouting from behind, turns around, lets out this thunderous roar.
A roar.
A roar. And Fan Nang is apparently so terrified he just falls off his horse, hits his head, and dies. Broken head, the sources say.
From a shout. Okay, I can see why they started calling him the Little Conqueror. It's these immediate, brutal, almost unbelievable acts.
Exactly.
So beyond just the raw power, what did these early wins signal about him as a potential leader, not just a fighter?
Well, they showed he was utterly fearless, but also incredibly good at breaking enemy morale. That Yuzhou victory was huge. Liu Yao's army just fell apart.
Right.
Loads of soldiers surrendered to Sun Ce. They took, what, over 10,000 enemy heads?
Yeah.
And Liu Yao and Zhao Rong, they had to run off to Yuzhang and join Liu Yao. Sun Ce was suddenly a major force.
So it proves the Little Conqueror title isn't just hype. But then the story shifts, shows another side of him. Strategy, but more subtle this time.
Yeah, the Moling campaign.
He goes back to attack Moling, rides up to the moat, calls for Zhu Yi to surrender, but then, bam! A cold arrow from the wall hits him in the leg. He falls.
A serious setback, you'd think.
Yeah.
But he turns it into an advantage.
How?
He hatches this incredibly clever plan. Fake his own death.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. Orders the army to make a big show of mourning, packing up camp like they're retreating in sorrow.
Yeah.
Think about the confidence needed to pull that off, right? To risk that kind of personal deception.
That's bold. Did it work?
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Xu Li, Zhang Ying, Chen Hang, they totally bought it. They thought, he's dead, their leader's gone, let's chase him down. So they pursued the retreating army.
Walking right into it.
Exactly. Then comes the dramatic reveal. Sudden ambush. Sun the Imp himself appears, shouting, Sun Lang is here.
Sun Lang, his other name.
Right. And the effect. Instant panic. The enemy soldiers, completely startled, just dropped their weapons, knelt down, surrendered.
Incredible turnaround.
Yeah.
So he takes Moling. What does he do then? Just focus on the military side.
This is where you see the other side again. He immediately orders his men not to harm any surrendered soldiers. The leaders who resisted, yeah, they were dealt with swiftly. Chen Wu gets Zhang Ying. Zheng Qian takes out Chen Heng with an arrow. Xu Li dies in the confusion.
Okay, so decisive but controlled.
Right. But crucially, the moment he enters Moling, his focus is on the people. Pacifying the residents, strict orders against looting, keeping things calm.
That's interesting. This Little Conqueror, the guy who punches people to death, is also focused on civil order. It's quite a contrast.
It is, isn't it? It shows he understood that just smashing things wasn't enough. You had to govern too. There's a subtle genius there, that balance between, the ferocity and the diplomacy.
That really sets the stage for what happens next, doesn't it? Recruiting Tai Shichi.
Ah, yes, Tai Shichi, a formidable warrior himself, had gathered, over 2,000 good soldiers. And he wanted revenge for Liu Yao. Capturing him wasn't going to be straightforward.
So another clever plan needed.
Exactly. Sun Ce and Zhu Yu cook up this brilliant strategy. They attack Jing County, but tactically, hit 3 sides, but leave the east gate open, sort of inviting an escape.
Okay. Why?
Because they set up 3 ambush forces way outside the city, about 25 lights out, maybe 10 miles or so. They figured Tai Shichi would push hard to escape and be exhausted by the time he got there.
And they knew his troops weren't the most disciplined.
Right, mostly mountain folk. Not exactly regulars. Makes them vulnerable to a planned pursuit and ambush.
So how did it play out?
Flawlessly, pretty much. Chen Wuhim, again, scales the wall first, sets fires, creates chaos. Tai Shi bolts through the east gate, just as planned.
With Sun Ce after him.
Sun Ce himself leads the pursuit initially. But here's a smart detail. The main pursuers stop after about 30 lead. They let Tai Shi keep going, pushing his horse for another 50 lead.
So he'd be completely worn out.
Totally exhausted.
Yeah.
And then, boom, runs right into the ambush spot, gets tangled in tripping ropes hidden in the reeds. Captured.
Okay, so they got him. But what Sun Ce does next is the really surprising part, right? Not what you'd expect.
Not at all. This is pure Sun Ce's brilliance. Instead of treating Tai Shi like a prisoner, he shows incredible respect, walks up, unties his bonds personally,
Wow.
gives him his own fancy brocade robe to wear, invites him into the main camp like an honored guest, praises him, calls him a true man, even criticizes Liu Yao for not using him properly.
That's psychological warfare almost, winning him over.
Absolutely. And then there's that great little exchange. Sun Ce asks him, sort of testingly, hey, if you'd captured me back at Shen Pavilion, would you have hurt me?
What did Tai Shi say?
He's completely honest. Just says one cannot say, and they both just burst out laughing. It shows this weird, immediate mutual respect.
That's incredible. And this leads to Tai Shi offering to help him.
It does. Tai Shi is clearly impressed, maybe moved. He says, look, let me go gather Liu Yao's scattered troops. They'll listen to me. I can bring them over to your side.
And Sun Ce just agrees.
Yeah.
Enthusiastically. And they make this crazy deal. Tai Shi promises to be back by noon the very next day. Midday.
His generals must have thought he was nuts. He's captured, you let him go, he's definitely not coming back.
Oh, totally skeptical.
Yeah.
They probably thought it was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
But Sun Ce insists, says he trusts Tai Shi's trustworthiness. Was it a calculated risk? Maybe. Or just Sun Ce's incredible ability to read people?
So, the big test, does he come back?
He does. The next day, right on the dot, they even set up a pole to mark the shadow for midday. And precisely then, Tai Shi arrives.
No way.
Yes, and he brings over 1,000 extra troops with him. Just like that.
That's just amazing. It completely vindicates Sun Ce's judgment. His
Yeah.
trust paid off massively.
Immensely. It wasn't just about the soldiers. It showed everyone what kind of leader Sun Ce was, willing to take that risk on someone's character.
And this obviously boosted his own forces significantly. He's commanding tens of thousands now.
Right. His power is growing rapidly.
Which brings us to another key point, how he won over the people of Jiangdong. Because initially, they were terrified, weren't they? Sun Lang's army is coming. People fled.
They did. That reputation, the little conqueror, preceded him. But that fear quickly turned into something else. Admiration.
How did that happen? What drove that shift?
It came down to his policies, his army's discipline. Remember moling? He applied that everywhere. Strict orders, no looting. The sources emphasize this. Chickens and dogs were undisturbed.
Which must have been a huge relief for the locals compared to other armies.
A massive relief.
Yeah.
Imagine the usual chaos of war, then this army arrives, and nothing bad happens. Instead of terror, you get positive interactions.
Like what?
The sources say people rejoiced. They actually came out bringing cattle and wine to welcome and entertain the soldiers.
Seriously, they're welcoming the conquering army.
Yes, and Sun Ce played his part. Reciprocating with gifts of gold and silk, you get descriptions of cheers filling the field. He wasn't just conquering, he was actively building goodwill.
Winning hearts and minds, quite literally. What about Liu Yao's old soldiers? The ones Tai Shi didn't round up.
More smart policy. He gave them a choice. Join his army, get integrated, or if they preferred, go back to farming. And even gave them rewards to help them restart.
So integration, not punishment.
Exactly. It earned him huge praise. The people across Jianyan all praised him, it says, and naturally his military strength swelled even more because of it.
And then he takes practical steps to consolidate. Brings his family, mother, uncles, brothers to Kui to establish a secure base.
Building a center of power.
And he starts delegating, right? Puts his brother, Sun Quan, and Zhu Tai in charge of Xuan City. Showing foresight, building a structure.
Absolutely. He's setting up a proper administration, not just ruling by force. Then he leads his army south himself to take Wu Commandery. He's moving from just being a conqueror to being a regional ruler.
Sun Ce gets his forces together and immediately looks towards Jiangdong, fertile ground, but there's someone already there.
His first major hurdle, yeah. A guy named Yan Baihu.
Oh, right, Yan Baiyu.
And he wasn't subtle. He'd actually styled himself the king of Eastern Wu.
King, wow.
Yeah, holding key places like Wu Commandery, Wuchang, Jiaxing. It was a direct, pretty audacious claim on territory Sun Ce clearly wanted.
So the first clash happens at Feng Bridge, and this really shows Sun Ce's forces, doesn't it? Their tactics.
It does. His general Han Dang goes out first, but then you see Jiang Qin and Shan Wu, they do something clever.
And boats, right.
Exactly. Small boats right from the river, quickly flanking Yan Yu, that's Yan Baihu's brother, holding the bridge.
Shows that agility right off the bat. Not just brute force, but thinking on their feet. Smart positioning. Okay, but the siege of Wu City. This is where things get really dramatic. Sun Ce surrounds the city, and for 3 days, silence. No one challenges him.
It's tense. Then you get this incredible incident at the city gate.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, it raises this whole question about psychological warfare.
Right.
And just raw individual skill. There's this officer on the wall.
Defiant.
Very defiant. Holding up a beam with his left hand, cursing Sun Ce's army.
Yeah.
Just yelling down at them.
And Taishi Si steps up.
Kai Shishi doesn't even hesitate. Takes an arrow, apparently declares, I'll hit his left hand.
No way.
Swear down, and then shoots him. Square through the left hand, pinning it to the beam he's holding.
That's incredible. The precision.
Incredible. And the reaction. Cheers from both sides, apparently. Just completely stunned Yan Baihu.
I bet. The
Yeah.
impact of that single shot, it wasn't just physical.
Oh, absolutely not. It was pure psychological warfare. A masterclass, really. It showed audacious skill could be as powerful as an army.
Shattered their morale instantly.
Completely. Yan Baihu was terrified. Realized he couldn't win against that kind of, well, prowess.
So he asks for peace, sends his brother.
This is Yan Yu, yeah, to negotiate. But the proposal, well,
Yeah.
Yan Yu suggests they divide Jiangdong equally.
Oh, dear. Bad move.
Terrible move.
Ah.
Sun Ce was enraged. Called Yan Yu a rat, apparently, for even thinking they were equals.
Ben.
Executed him. Right there.
That's brutal.
Brutal, yes. But it sent an absolutely crystal clear message. No sharing, no compromise. This is my territory.
That really solidified his image, didn't it?
Yeah.
Ruthless, decisive.
No question. After Yan Yu's death, Yan Baihu just fled.
And Sun Ce moved quickly to consolidate.
Immediately.
Mm.
Put his forces, led by Huang Gai and Taishi Chi, onto pacifying Jiaxing and Wuchang. Settled that eastern route. He left his uncle, Sun Jing, to defend it.
Smart delegation.
Very. And appointed Zhu Zi as prefect of Wu Commandery, putting his own trusted people in place.
But Yan Baihu wasn't completely done. Even after fleeing Wu Commandery, still trying to cause trouble.
He was still a thorn in the side, yeah. Fled to Yuhan, raiding, trying to gather more forces. But this actually leads to someone new joining Sun Ce.
Oh, who's this?
Well, Yan Baihu gets defeated, but not by Sun Ce's main army this time. He's beaten by a local guy, Ling Cao, and his villagers.
Just local resistance.
Exactly. And Ling Cao, having defeated Yan Baihu, then joins Sun Ce as a commanding officer.
Which just shows Sun Ce's knack for pulling talent in, right? Even from unexpected places.
Absolutely. His ability to attract capable people was key. Yan Baihu tries one last stand, though,
Where's that?
at Xixin Ferry. But Chen Ku leads the attack, defeats him decisively, chases him all the way to Kuaiji, pushes him right into a corner.
So the final act seems to be unfolding in Kuaiji. Yan Baihu teams up with the prefect there, Wang Lang.
Right. And this is a moment where, well, advice really matters.
Okay.
Before the battle, this local official, Yu Fan from Yu Yao, he gives Wang Lang some advice.
What does he say?
He strongly advises against helping Yan Baihu, argues Sun Ce's army is righteous, and Yan Baihu's is tyrannical.
So basically switch sides.
Pretty much. He actually suggests Wang Lang should capture Yan Baihu and hand him over to Sun Ce.
Sensible advice, given how things were going.
You'd think. But Wang Lang gets angry, dismisses Yu Fan completely.
Oof. Ignoring good counsel never ends well.
Rarely does. So Wang Lang and Yan Baihu get ready for battle at Chanyin.
And the fighting starts.
Yeah, initially you have Taishi Ti fighting Wang Lang himself. Then Huang Gai jumps in to duel Wang Lang's general, Zhu Ting,
Back and forth for a bit.
for a bit. But the real turning point is a classic flanking maneuver. Zhu Yu and Cheng Pu sweep around and hit Wang Lang's rear.
Caught them completely by surprise.
Totally. Outnumbered, outmaneuvered.
Right.
Wang Lang, Yan Baihu, Zhu Ting, they barely escape back into Kuaiji City. Slam the drawbridge up.
So Wang Lang goes defensive. What's the plan?
He takes Yan Baihu's advice now. Deep trenches and high ramparts. The idea is just to hold out.
Starve Sun Ce out.
Yeah, they figured Sun Ce's army would run out of supplies in about a month. Just wait.
Seems logical, but Sun Ce wasn't known for just waiting around.
Not at all. And this is where his strategic mind, helped by his uncle Sun Jing again, really comes through.
What does Sun Jing suggest?
Pack Shodu.
Hmm.
That's where Wang Lang had stored most of his grain. Hit him where it hurts, and do it by surprise.
Okay, so how do they manage the surprise?
Sun Ce fakes a full retreat. Lights big fires, keeps his banners visible, makes it look like he's pulling back completely, creates doubt.
A bit of theater?
Exactly. But secretly, under cover of this fake retreat, he moves his main army south.
And Wang Lang buys it.
He falls for it. There's some hesitation, apparently, but Zhu Ting and Yan Baihu convince him, let's pursue. They're running, and they head specifically towards Shidu.
Right into the trap.
Textbook ambush. As Yan Baihu and Zhu Ting are chasing, suddenly, boom, drums, torches, Sun Ce's forces appear.
Sun Ce himself.
Sun Ce himself confronts them, kills Zhu Ting with a spear, a decisive moment.
And Yan Baihu?
Flees. Again, his nerve just completely gone. Wang Lang hears about the disaster, he flees too.
Leaving Kuaiji open.
Wide open. Sun Ce takes the city, stabilizes the whole region.
And that's pretty much the end for Yan Baihu.
It is. To cap it off, this guy Dong Shi, also from Yu Yao, interestingly, presents Yan Baihu's severed head to Sun Ce.
Grim, but symbolic.
Very. And Dong Shi gets made a commander for it. That marks the complete pacification of the eastern route. Sun Ce's dominion in Jiangdong is really established now.
You know, we talk about the strategy, the battles, but loyalty, personal sacrifice, that's huge too, isn't it?
Absolutely fundamental. And this next part really highlights that, plus introduces, well, a truly legendary figure.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It raises this question about the cost of loyalty, Sun Quan, Sun Ce's younger brother.
Right, the future emperor.
Exactly. He's stationed at Chuan City with General Zhu Tai.
Yeah.
And they get ambushed. Mountain bandits attack at night.
Chaos.
Utter chaos. And Zhu Tai, he's on foot, apparently unarmed initially, and he just throws himself into protecting Sun Quan.
Fights them off.
Fights ferociously to clear a path so Sun Quan can escape. But in the process, Zhu Tai sustains, get this, 12 major wounds.
12 and survived.
Barely. It's an astonishing display of self-sacrifice. Just pure devotion.
Sun Ce must have been devastated when he heard.
Deeply distressed, yeah. Zhu Tai was critical. But then Dong Shi, the guy who brought Yan Baihu's head, speaks up.
What does he say?
He mentions that he had been badly wounded by pirates once and was cured by a physician recommended by Yu Fan.
Wait, the same Yu Fan whose advice Wang Lang ignored?
The very same one. And this shows Sun Ce's sharpness again.
How so?
He immediately recognizes Yu Fan must be a worthy scholar, someone with valuable connections and judgment, sends Zhang Zhao and Dong Ji to formally invite him to serve.
And Yu Fan accepts.
He does. Sun Ce appoints him Commandant of Merit. Again, recognizing talent, valuing good counsel, even indirectly.
So Yu Fan knows this physician who can help Zhu Tai.
He does. He introduces the divine physician Hua Tuo.
The Hua Tuo, the legendary surgeon.
That's him. From Kiao Commandery. Described as having this youthful face, but white hair. A bit mystical.
And he cures Zhu Tai.
Effortlessly, apparently. In just 1 month, Zhu Tai is healed.
Incredible.
Sun Ce is overjoyed. Rewards Hua Tuo lavishly. And with Zhu Tai saved, his control over the entire Jianyan region feels truly secure. A victory achieved through healing as much as fighting.
So Jianyan is pacified. Sun Ce's base is solid. What's the next move? Looking outwards.
Exactly. He starts thinking politically now, solidifying his standing.
How does he do that?
Sends a memorial, like an official report, to the imperial court. He's seeking formal recognition, and he also tries to ally with Cao Cao, who's clearly a rising power.
Makes sense. Playing the long game.
But he also makes a huge demand. He demands the imperial seal back from Yuan Shu.
Whoa! The imperial seal, that's audacious.
Hugely audacious. Remember, Sun Ce's father, Sun Jian, had found it. Sun Ce feels it's rightfully his family's. But more than that, the seal represents legitimate imperial authority. Demanding it is a direct challenge to Yuan Shu.
And Yuan Shu had his own ambitions, didn't he?
Oh yeah, Yuan Shu was secretly planning to declare himself emperor, so returning the seal, not going to happen.
So he refuses.
Flatly refuses. And consults his advisors. His chief advisor, Yang Dajiang, gives some interesting counsel.
What's the advice?
Yang Dajiang basically says, look, Sun Ce's too strong right now. He's got a powerful army, controls the Yangtze. Don't pick a fight with him directly just yet.
Smart. Avoid a direct confrontation.
Instead, Yang Dajiang suggests attacking Liu Bei first.
Liu Bei? Why him?
To settle an old score, basically. Avenge a previous conflict. Deal with Liu Bei, then maybe think about dealing with Sun Ce later.
Ah, a diversion. Buys Yuan Shu time shifts the focus.
Precisely. It just shows the complex web of rivalries,
Yeah.
setting the stage for the next round of conflicts, but pushing a direct Sun Sea confrontation down the road, for now.